Arizona has no shortage of amazing places to ride your bike, from the glowing red rocks and canyons of Sedona to the varied terrain that surrounds Tucson, to Phoenix with its South Mountain and its Haw State Park, and even a splash of Lomers up in Flagstaff. It's a very big state with a lot of really cool places to ride. As it turns out, I'm not in any of those places. I'm in the town of Safford, which is a small mining community in the very remote southeastern corner of the state in the heart of the Gila Desert. 8,000 feet above town is the summit of Mount Graham. Mount Graham is one of Arizona's sky islands, which are mountains with enough prominence that they have no less than 6 distinct ecological systems from the base to the summit. And in fact, Mount Graham is the tallest of Arizona's sky islands, and it's actually one of the most prominent mountains in all of the United States. Mount Graham is a massive mountain, and it does happen to feature some amazing trails from the very top all the way down to the bottom. My name is Brice Shirbach, and this is Underexposed. The highest trail available on Mount Graham is Heliograph, which starts at just above 10,000 feet above sea level. From Heliograph down, you can experience subalpine terrain, mixed conifer forests, grassland, and desert terrain, all in one massive descent. Despite having a veritable mountain playground just above town, Safford doesn't have what you might call a robust mountain bike community. Fortunately, for anyone who is interested in riding these amazing trails, Nathaniel Gordon and the rest of the Tucson-based Sonoran Desert Mountain Bicyclists, or SDMB, have taken the reins on Graham and are working with the Forest Service to keep things rolling on this incredible sky island.
My name is Nathaniel Gordon. I'm based in Tucson, Arizona. I'm a board member at Sonoran Desert Mountain Bicyclists, and I'm the Mount Graham crew trail leader. Mount Graham popped on my radar about 2018, 2019 when I was considering moving to Tucson, and I was looking at riding options in the greater region. And I noticed a similar sky island on the trail apps and so on, asked if there was a local trail group out here. Folks said no, there wasn't. There had been a bad fire in 2017 and the trails had been quite devastated. But in terms of becoming a part of the project, that was in late 2020, reaching out to Evan Pilling from SDMB, and I helped co-found the restoration project with him around that time. We're super grateful that everyone that's been involved in this project, number one, from SDMB's perspective, because we're a volunteer organization, would be all the volunteers that have helped us out over the past 3.5 years. The Coronado National Forest has been super helpful in allowing us to work on the land. The Fort Grant Fire Crew has been incredible. They're the ones that have done the heavy lifting of opening these trails. We've also had another crew involved called Wild Arizona that has helped us clear out critical sections of trail by actually camping out on the mountain. Thanks to all of those folks for being a part of this project and helping us get to the point where we are now, where we can say, you know, the Graham Cracker route is officially open and end to end, and we're recommending people come try it out.
The riding that follows from here on out is from a combination of several trails that together make up the Graham Cracker route. It consists of a shuttle and 4 separate trails along with a bit of road climbing. You'll drop over 7,000 feet with about 3,000 feet of climbing thrown in. It's important to note that Mount Graham riding is big mountain backcountry riding in what is already a very isolated part of Arizona. The trails are very rough and rustic and are elevations between 10 and 6,000 feet above sea level, so keep your wits about you during the descent and enjoy the views whenever you can.
The origin story for me was, as a Tucsonan, I was looking at my riding options in the region and wondering what those were going to be. Was it going to be going to Flag or Prescott or wherever, Phoenix to ride? And I started noticing, like I said, on the map, these sky islands, and was like, well, those are massive mountains with incredible terrain, thousands of feet of sustained descending, like what's going on over there? And knowing there was high elevation camping, so both the respite from the heat, but also a curiosity about the big mountain terrain, and knowing reading up on the history of this place, that there were a lot of civilian conservation corps trails that have been built here with these big miles and big elevations. So I had a sense that there was high quality trail construction that may have been quite old, but probably was had high potential for being restored. But perhaps another important point to bring up is my previous experience around volunteering with trail work and advocacy. I'd been involved in a group in Northern California called the Sierra Butte Trail Stewards, working in an area called the Lost Sierra, which was kind of a distant part of the Northern Sierra Nevada. And I saw what restoring high quality trails could do for communities, both in creating an experience for hiking, mountain biking, multi-use, but also in wanting to somewhat recreate a trail crew that had a deep connection with a place that needed love, and was trying to create something like that here. I think it's a noble cause, right? Like, trails connect communities. They, allow people to see beautiful and peaceful places, right? They allow people to seek thrills and, just have a good old time. So for me, yes, it's a lot of work, but it's the right kind of work, right? It's super meaningful, super purposeful, and I think the important part is it work where you'll be able to see the gains or meet your goals? It allows me to feel like I'm contributing something to the greater good, something that will last, something more tangible and meaningful than just contributing to some corporation's bottom line.
Safford and the rest of Graham County are not what many would consider to be outdoorsy communities, despite the incredible natural resources that exist throughout the region. This is a mining community, so extraction is the name of the game for now. That won't last forever, and of course my hope, as well as the hopes of groups like SDMB, is that it won't be long before more mellow and beginner-friendly trails begin to pop up in town so that locals can begin to get a taste for life on the trail and begin to shift away from their reliance on mining. In a part of the world where the hunt for precious metals reigns supreme, it's worth noting that a very different kind of gold awaits those who are looking for adventure on Mount Graham.
Troubles behind.